All right, so we're gonna go ahead and finish up the series on how to put up a beaver. We're still following the same beaver. He's just a little old fart, but a beaver's a beaver. So we'll go ahead and we'll start. We're putting this on wire. And as we were talking about earlier, it's not nearly as easy to put small beavers on wire as it is wood. Luckily, these are our brand new wire stretchers. They're not all rusted up yet. Whenever you've got good iron that's not rusted up, you can do a little bit more with it. So it is a good idea to try to keep them oiled. We honestly don't do a good enough job about it, but they're not cheap. So if you buy them, it's a good idea to go ahead and oil them. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the way that I do it is I do one of the tail, one of both the hind legs. I go 3 up the sides, one on both the front legs, and then one on the face. So we'll go ahead and do that. The tail is always going to be the hardest part to get a hog ring through. It's the thickest part of the body. So we'll get that started. We'll go there, put one on this hind leg, put one on this hind leg. I will go ahead and I'll go halfway up the side, put one right on this side right there. Put one in this side. I'm gonna grab the face so it doesn't come off the hoop. I'm gonna rotate the hoop. I'm gonna find his front leg. Do that one. Do that one. Get these fixed up where they need to be. And I'm gonna come to his face where his nose is. Put one right there. And that's how you start them. So the reason that you do it like that, that gives you your general shape. It's not even close to done, but now that it's got its general shape, you can go back and start filling in. So like I said, this is a small beaver, so I don't know how tight that it's gonna be on this hoop. So I'm gonna go halfway on every single one of these just to see what my general tightness is gonna be. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one there, kind of fill that gap a little bit. Come here. Do that. Do that. And good hog rings make a big difference, by the way. Good new shiny sharp hog rings work a lot better than old rusty ones. So we're just going to keep working our way around.
It's going to tighten out a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a bigger beaver than the other one. If I can get this to go on here. I'm going to keep filling. And you don't want to get all of them on until you get it stretched, because if you get them all on and then you try to stretch it, it's not going to go to its full length.
Should be good.
I'll try to get one more there, and I'm only putting this many on the small one because their leather is so thin that if you pull on it, it could rip.
I was going to tell you, whenever you go to stretch this out, I would take that hoop off or that hog ring off right there, because this is going to move, and I would take
that one off, yeah.
These two off.
Yeah, just because
it's got to have room to move.
Yeah. And this is also a good time, you know, if you want to do a little bit of cleanup work. It's not that big of a deal, but it's all about presentation. So we'll go ahead and remove that big chunk that's there. The ears do not matter. They're going to cut those out at the tannery anyway. You only need to worry about leaving that there if you're going to get it put up for your house. Whenever these get sent to the tannery, all of the leg holes and basically the entire face is cut off after tanning. So none of that matters, and it's just going to take it longer to dry. So now that we've got that started, I'm going to set these off to the side. I'm going to make sure that we've got enough room for this hoop to breathe, and that should be enough there. I'm going to take it, I'm going to loosen the hoop, and a good hoop already has a little bit of spring action to it. This works a lot better on a big beaver than it does a small one, because we've got this hoop so cinched down trying to get this beaver to work in general. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to encourage that hoop to open up on its own. I'm going to let it do it at once. And then once it's gotten to where, see, that's not even close to tight yet. That's still loose. So once I get it like that, I'm going to just help it. I'm going to kind of force it a little bit.
Loosen it up a whole bunch.
All right.
Loosen it up a little bit more. You got where you want it?
Yep.
It's still pretty loose, isn't it?
This one's not moving like I wanted to. There it goes.
There you go.
That. So we're going to go ahead and kind of start filling this in again. One of the most common issues that you're going to have whenever you take your beaver to a fur market, a fur auction, or a fur grader is called webbing, all right? If you do not get your hooks close enough, and then let me see if I can get a good example of it. So do you see how that looks? This is exaggerated. No one ever does it like this, but you can see that where that's coming in at like an angle, or at a bow, like the bow of a boat. Normally they're going to be a lot closer or a lot smaller than that, but you want this thing to be a perfectly uniform circle, or as much as you can. This oval. Is or an oval, preferably, because you get more inches. So this is another good example. Here's that one right there. So you want to make sure that you go back in and you want to get enough hooks, hog rings on each one of those to close those up.
About every 1.5 inches.
Yes. Once again, if you've got a bigger beaver, this is easier to do because you really can't overstretch a beaver. But on these really young beavers, they're not mature yet. They have that thin hide. So you have to be real careful not to rip chunks out of it, because you're going to be hating yourself if you do. So we're just going along, we're filling in any spots that we think that we need some more of them. And you use a good bit of hog rings. You see how small this beaver is, and we'll probably end up having 50 hog rings on this thing. So you want to make sure you keep a good stock of hog rings. I mean, we've got a whole cast iron skittle full of them, and we've got that entire, what do you think that is, a gallon Tupperware full of them. So it's important to keep hog rings around because you're always going to need them. That one popped off, so we'll make sure we get it back where it needs to be. And we're just going to continue going around. This is very time consuming, but here's the deal. If you're going to catch beavers and you're going to put up beavers, there is nothing easy about doing a beaver unless you've got some $20,000 fleshing machine. It takes a while to skin them, it takes a while to flesh them, it takes a while to hoop them or board them, it doesn't matter. The most fun part about a beaver is catching it and then selling it at the show. Anything in between isn't super great. Just got one more to do. And the oval is complete. So once that's done, you have no webbing, you've got good between inch and a half spacing between your hog rings, the hide looks nice. Then you're going to go back and look at your legs. So what I'll typically do, it's very, very hard to get all of the fat and membrane removed around the leg. It's just because of the way that it is on a beam. So I'll just go back around the legs and I'll trim it off. You can do this after it's dry too, but I have found that if you wait till it's dry to trim it, you're a lot more likely to damage the hide because it's brittle and it's dry and it's not very forgiving. So you can do this any way you want. The main thing is you want the legs to be closed up and you want it to look presentable. So typically you can take one hog ring on the front leg, put it right through like that, run it down to the next hog ring. That's good enough, it's closed. You'll go up to the next front leg, pick it up, one hog ring through the top, bring it down to your hog ring on the side of the leather. That's done. The back legs are a little bit different because the holes are larger where they have larger back feet. So I'll put one there and I'll put one there. Sometimes I'll even do 3 depending on what the opening looks like once I'm done. But I'll take a second hog ring. Sometimes you can put it here and that's enough, but it's still open. So I'll go ahead and I'll run it all the way down to the hoop, just like that. I'll do the same thing with this one, all the way down to the hoop. Now you can see that right there, it's starting to tear, so I've got to be careful. I cannot absolutely give it the beans or it's going to rip. So it's real slow. And there's that. That leg's done. We'll go ahead, get 4 more hog rings or a couple of them. Come up here, put one through there. I'm going to trim up this little flap here because that's just in the way. It's not doing anything. Take another hog ring, come up above it. Take another one, come down it, and run it all the way down to the hoop. Just like that. Take another one, run it all the way down to the hoop. it's closed up. That is how you skin, flesh, and stretch a beaver on a wire hoop.